So you are an iPhone 12 user. Then the question becomes, should you be looking to upgrade to the iPhone 13 and why should you do it? I'm here to share my thoughts and share with you what the upgrades are, and then you can decide that for yourself. Okay, usually when we talk about upgrading our phones, there are a couple of things that we will look at. Number one, we'll look at the screen. Is there any improvement to that? Number two, we'll look at the battery life. Definitely we want something that will gain us better battery life to make the upgrade worthwhile. And number three, of course, the camera system, especially for an iPhone. So if we talk about the screen first, essentially the screen has largely remained unchanged, with two key notable differences. Number one is that the brightness now is at 800 nits instead of 625 nits on the iPhone 12. In my opinion, it's significant change, but it's not enough to be a distraction or to improve my viewing experience, which is the notch. The notch now is 20% smaller, and they did that by pushing the earpiece slot up to the edge so that they can pack all the cameras, the sensors, all within a smaller area. But honestly, when you look at the video, when you start watching something, you really don't notice any difference because a notch is there still. Unless it's a hole punch kind of a camera design, then I feel that there will be a significant difference. But at this moment, that 20% smaller doesn't seem to translate to something that is significantly different for me. So that is something that I find that the screen has not changed much, but it's still the 60Hz screen. If you want a better screen, definitely go for the iPhone 13 Pro models, which has the Pro Motion display, which allows it to throttle the screen resolution from 10Hz to 130Hz, 20Hz, depending on your usage. And that also helps with the battery performance, battery life performance, which now I want to talk about. That is that the iPhone 13 is actually 0.25 mm thicker. So I'm not sure that is something you can discern. It's such a small number, but because of this slight thickness increase, it actually allows the iPhone 13 to have a bigger battery and gives you an additional 2 hours of playback time according to Apple. So in my experience with the iPhone 13 Pro, I really do get a better battery life. At the end of the day, I can still have 40% with light usage. It's sometimes even until 45% in the past week. So unless I'm shooting lots of videos, then of course it will really drain out the battery. But now I find that the phones with a bigger battery and with the Pro Motion display in the 13 Pros, it helps with battery management. Thirdly, and importantly, the most significant upgrade for the iPhone 13 would be its cameras. Now it has two sort of new cameras, although the specs are similarly, like the aperture for the ultra wide is still at 2.4 and the wide camera has an aperture of still f1.6. But importantly, the wide camera now comes with sensor shift OIS, which means to say you can take stable shots in low light conditions better, or generally give you sharper images due to the ability to stabilize your image while taking the photo. And the ultra wide camera now also comes with autofocus. Yes, previously iPhone 12 did not have the autofocus function in ultra wide camera, but now you can autofocus in ultra wide, which is something that they should have done in the first place, but I guess there were some limitations. But now you can do it on the iPhone 13. And the biggest change from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 13 will be cinematic mode. Imagine this kind of a videography where you have a blur background behind me and then you have a person that's in focus. I'm currently doing that with the Sony A7C, so that's a professional level camera. So you can see that the background is kind of a blurry effect. So what the cinematic mode does is it tries to achieve this using a smaller sensor just on the phone and try to achieve the same effect like a professional camera like that. So cinematic mode works in all iPhone 13s, but it only works for the wide angle camera lens on the iPhone 13. The ultra wide doesn't have that function, but if you want to get telephoto, the cinematic mode also works in the telephoto mode in the 13 Pro models. So let me show you how it looks like when we actually shoot a cinematic mode using the iPhone 13. Okay, now I'm going to be trying out the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13. So going into the app and starting it off, I have Seth on the screen and he's in focus. And if we start looking at Evelyn, focus onto Evelyn, and Seth look back. Yep, it comes back to Seth, and that is what we deem as cinematic mode. Just turn, it's naturally just turn. And it goes to Evelyn again as I move along. So I can also choose who to be in focus. Now if I tap on Seth, Seth will stay in focus, and Seth will be the one that will be focused despite Evelyn coming into view. So that is cinematic mode for you. In addition, the iPhone 13 also has a new photographic style system, which essentially it's think of it as creating your own personal look in your photos that is baked in during the processing of the photo. That means as you take the colors, the vibrancy, the richness, the contrast are all baked in during that shot. It's not like a drop-in filter after you take the photo. So photographic styles gives you a couple of options to choose from. So let me just try and demonstrate what we can see from the camera app here. So as you go into the camera app, there will be on the left side of the screen, there is an arrow. You just tap on that and you'll bring up a menu that shows like a couple of papers stacked up on top of each other. So you just tap on that, and then the first mode is standard, and we start swiping through. The next one is rich contrast. You have vibrant mode, warm, cool, and I think cool is the last one. But for example, I like rich contrast, so I can even change the tone of it by adjusting the settings on the right side. So you can tweak to what you like, and this will remember the setting that you choose, and going forward all your photos will be taken in this kind of a look that you like. So that is photographic styles for you, and the iPhone 12 does not have that. It's probably due to the processing capability and of course maybe the camera system. So the iPhone 13 gives you that. So that's it for the iPhone 13. Do you feel that these are enough of an upgrade for you to spend or compare that $150 more between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13? Of course, that is probably not the right comparison, but at the end of the day, you decide what works for you. Do you want a better camera system, better battery life? Well, if those are the ones that tick your boxes, then why not go for the change? You could always sell away your iPhone 12 and then use the balance to pay for an upgrade for the iPhone 13. And that could be something that most people will be doing anyway. But if you are already on an iPhone 11 or older, definitely the iPhone 13 will be a bigger upgrade than the iPhone 12. So not everybody does an upgrade every year. So you have to see, maybe at this point in time, you prefer a better battery life for your phone. Then, or you want to shoot better looking videos or photos. Well, then you could decide between the iPhone 13 or going even further, the iPhone 13 Pro. But otherwise, if you are something behind, like even the 10 or 10R or 11, then definitely the iPhone 13 is a no-brainer upgrade for you. So that was a quick video on the iPhone 13. I hope I helped you a little bit. Well, may not be, but you decide for yourself. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you continue to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.